Live from the Preston Highway Studios, it's 24-Hour Purple People. And now here's your host, John Harper.
Well, hello there, Purple family, and welcome to 24-Hour Purple People, where we will talk all things Louisville City FC, Racing Louisville, and Yellow Puppets, because what the hell. Today it's just me and my good friend, Mr. Ken Luther. Ken, hello, good sir, and welcome to the program this evening. How are you on this fine Sunday?
I'm recovering significantly from the shenanigans that occur in Butchertown after dark.
Butchertown After Dark. Is that on HBO or?
It probably should be.
So where are we talking? Did y'all go to 1020 or?
No, well, yes. We decided to bar hop all the way down into Butchertown, kind of from the Highland.
Mm-hmm.
Probably our first mistake of the evening. So we hit a lot of them. 1020, High Noon. Is that what it's called? High Noon? No.
High Horse.
High Horse. It was some Western theme there.
It was it was High Noon for El Paso last night.
We went somewhere else. I can't remember. To West 6th. That's where we were in Nulu. And then we ended up at Gold Bar for the watch party.
Yeah.
Which was fun. We were our normal super loud selves. And then we closed that. They closed that down and they started up some sort of dance party. So we stayed for that. And then it got weird. So we won't talk anymore about that.
Well, that is an interesting end to that portion of the program. But we're going to start a full 48 hours behind where we're at now, not 24. When on Friday, Racing Lou hosted a NWSL matchup against the Portland Thorns. Ken, despite Alex Chidiak having an unbelievable goal to have her first goal as the NWSL star, Racing a 2-1 loss against Portland. 7,000 on hand to see this match. Ken, I know you were in the building. What did you see from Racing out there? It was a gritty performance, but definitely some mistakes were made.
Yeah, I'm going to be an optimist on this one. We've never scored on Portland before, so now we had scored a single goal on Portland. So that is maybe not moving the needle like we want it, but it's definitely moving the needle a little bit. I think our finishing, the fine-tuning of our finishing, the fine-tuning of our passing, the fine-tuning of maintaining possession of the ball really held us back a little bit. But you could feel it. We're getting there. I have faith and hope that we can get there. We really need to start winning some games.
Yeah, we definitely do. And I think I've seen multiple times Racing just gets off on the wrong foot. Literally last night, within I think 10 seconds, they were passing back to Katie in the goal. We have to starting these games in a positive form, because as the game went on, it seemed that we built up confidence, and the team I feel like they're getting better and things are really, really starting to click, but just not what we want to see in the end result. One thing I thought was a very interesting stat, 17 total shots, only 3 outside the box. So they were really finding ways to penetrate the Thorns. Ouch. But it ultimately didn't lead to a victory. Where do we go from here? We know we have a big game coming up we're going to talk about a little bit later with OL Reign, but did you think the substitutions were interesting? I saw some people online talk about that. The substitutions in the 79th minute seemed a little late.
Yeah, normally you're going to see your subs if you want to change the manner of the game, either at halftime or at 60 minutes. I thought the starting lineup, which I got totally wrong, not totally, I was off by 2, for the beginning of the game with Murray coming in instead of Lester, was interesting. She played well for her national team, Jamaica. So that sounds like why she got the slot. She probably also has some good speed because their weapon of Sophia Smith, which we paid for with the first goal of the match, she kind of blew by all of us, which is what she does. it was interesting. I also kind of predicted that we'd try to match Emily Fox with Sophia Smith. That's not how they played. They play a number 9 up top. Emily Fox is obviously on our left back, and Sophia Smith's most of her attacks came up the other side. So we didn't see that matchup, and maybe that's probably why you saw Murray and Malay on there, just to have a little bit of speed to help contain that. As we saw, we didn't do it too well. So where do we go from her? I think we need to solidify our lineup. I'm glad to see Murray in there now that we have another back that we can use. We need Lester to build from the back. She's got that ball control. So, it's we're going to continue to fine tune the positions but we're starting to kind of see what it looks like up top. In the middle, we still need a lot of work on that kind of connection in the midfield. But OL Reign's coming off short rest and travel. It's a Tuesday game. They just played last night against New Jersey.
Angel City.
That's right. Against Angel City, which they beat them at Angels. They beat them at home. They played in LA. So they're going to have to travel. Super short rest. I actually think we have a pretty good shot at getting a result out of this game.
Yeah, I think so too. I felt like, a lot of people were kind of, I don't want to say dreading this match with the Thorns, but I think Racing really held their own. Like I said, though, they've got to start hotter. They've got to come out of the gate firing, and I feel like we're on our back foot a lot in the first moments of the game. Just about every game, we've seen that same. I don't want to say mentality, but we've seen those same results in the first half multiple times this season. So we've got to get out on the right foot. Thanks for joining us in the chat today, folks. Joe would like to say that shirt is a very kin Hawaiian shirt with the skulls. That's a beautiful shirt there. Katie says they were timid, talking of Racing, timid in the beginning and got more comfortable. I think that was a pretty obvious thing that you could see.
Second half.
Yep, as the game went on. So, well, let's just hope that Racing can pull it together for this next matchup. Obviously, it's not where we want to be at this point in the season, second from the bottom of the table, but we have to continue to trust this process. It was good to see Nadia starting. That was definitely something that was well needed, and her and Jess McDonald, as they continue to grow their chemistry. Emily Fox had some great looks, one of which just barely got saved. Oh, man. That was tough. That was tough.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that would have been nice. That was Nadia Nadim's first full 90 in about a year. So, got to get back to match fitness, which I have no doubt she will, because she's a super person with super abilities. And then just build that connection. And DeMello on the other side, I think it's going to be great. We got to get there quicker.
Yep, absolutely. We have to be like a speeding train down the rails. And speaking of trains, El Paso Locomotive welcomed Louisville City on a Saturday evening last night. We were just talking about that a little bit earlier. Down in Texas, very far west part of Texas, at Southwest University Park. City getting a nice streak of baseball fields at this point in the season, so it seems. A 1-0 victory over the Vamos Locos. City back in first place after Tampa took a temporary, about a 3-hour lead in the East in the standings. Ken, from what you can recall, and based on any stats that you might have looked up prior to this show airing, what did you see from City last night, and how did you feel about that performance? Not exactly a stat-dominant performance by Louisville City.
No, it's one of those matches that champions go and win, even though everything on paper says they shouldn't have won. Not everything, because you can see the offsides was dramatically swayed against El Paso. That's because we play such a high line and we squeeze that space doing that high press type of thing that we do. That Francois, I believe, the Haitian player, must have gotten called off 6 or 7 times himself. And when they talk about man of the match, I know that Jorge got it because he scored the goal, but I honestly think the whole defensive line should have gotten men of the match. because they were really playing a high line and not a whole lot of threats coming from El Paso.
No, not at all. And Kyle Morton had another clean sheet, obviously, and just some tremendous saves left and right. I mean, the guy's a human highlight reel of the USL goalkeeping wise. He is having an incredible season, leads the league in clean sheets. Ken, since June 18th, City has outscored their opponents 18-4. This streak has been really nice in the last 7 matches of this unbeaten streak. And the best start at this point, as they say, best point in at this point in the season in club history. Things are looking very good for Louisville City. As you said, that back line, really high press, 9 offside calls on El Paso, and that's just a testament to what Louisville City brings to the table defensively, right?
Yeah, it is. I do have some worries, not necessarily about their current form, but we do have a number of players that are still out on injury. Let's see. And/or for whatever reason, they're not playing. Corbin Bones out. Cameron Lancaster's out. Josh Winder turned an ankle. And Ian Solar also turned an ankle. Dia, I guess, is expecting, or the baby has shown up or something like that. I haven't heard one way or the other, but he's going to be on, I don't know how long maternity leave works for USL championship players, but he should be on something. So we're getting a little thin.
Yeah, a little thin. Luckily, we have a not so great opponent coming to town next Saturday that we'll talk about a little later. But Ken, I guess it would be detrimental to not mention last night was also the kit reveal for the new third kit for this season that will debut against Tampa at home in a couple of weeks. Ken, I'll bring up here a picture of this new kit, a gold standard kit here from Louisville City, complete with the scarf and hat. What do you think? Give me your opinions on this kit. You've seen a lot of kits in your day. Give me your opinion on this one.
Okay. Looks a little bit like LAFC. What shirt are you wearing? What shirt are you wearing right there?
Message.
Yeah, so it's clean, it's simple, and I think people are going to buy some. Obviously, you got to get the hat and scarf too so you can match. You might as well get some shoes to go along with it as well. I'm sure we could make some money off there somehow. So it's great. I haven't really bought a kit since they changed to the new crest. But it looks like a pretty good kit. And I think Rebecca won one in the drawing or something, so we'll have one running around the house at some point. But,
now, did she put in all the family members like she did at the USL Showcase warm-up?
She was at the table for a while, so, I think she just entered the rest of us as we were drinking beer or something like that. She managed to win.
I do like the kit. I saw, for the most part, positive reception online. Chime in on the chat and let us know about how you feel about the kit. The gold bar thing was very interesting. Some of the photos on Twitter, like Niall holding the gold bar in that one photo, is something I'm definitely going to see in my nightmares tonight. That was strange. But I agree with you on the cleanliness. By the way, you got a yellow card for saying that I think people are going to buy it. That is a hot take, Ken. Very hot take. I think Glenn actually already bought his.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He was wearing 2. By the end of the night, he's wearing 2 kits. He didn't really notice all that much.
Adam chimed in and said, for the love of God, can San Antonio lose a freaking match and let us take the top of the league? Yeah, I saw that today looking at the table, and it's like, oh, first place in the East, boy, we're on a hot streak. And then you look up, and there's 3 points ahead of us, San Antonio. They have definitely played well. I watched one of their games a couple weeks ago, and they look pretty strong.
They do. It's going to be harder and harder to catch them as we run out of ground on the season. And Tampa is nipping at our heels.
Joe, Kim would like to know, how was the turnout at Gold Bar? Has that been the first watch party at Gold Bar?
I don't think it was the first one. It's the first one. It's the first time I've been to Gold Bar. For a very long time, I thought it was a strip club. I was mistaken. It's not. It's actually just it's a bar. when at a dance club. So it was a good turnout. I thought it was full of people, and then immediately when the game ended, they switched it over to a dance party real quick with like DJs dressed up as devils and angels and stuff. Like I said, it got a little weird after that, but pretty good. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how many people were there.
Okay. Let's do. Sorry. Play that last part again. There was devils and what now?
Angels. Yeah, I think it was some sort of heaven and hell dance party they were having or something like that. Yeah, we decided to leave when the motorcycle gang pulled up. Yeah. What
a night. All right.
It's another one of those nights.
Well, that sounds like fun. Yeah, my opinion on the kit, in case anybody cares, I do like it though. I think it's very clean. I think I saw like somebody doing a speed build. Some Tulsa fan did like this speed build on Twitter. He used like I don't know, Photoshop or some program, and like made the kit in like a minute and 30 seconds. Designed it. I mean, okay, haha, I get it, but I don't mind simple. I also like the extravagant, crazy kits and some of the warm-up kits we've had, but I do not mind simple. I love that gold shining. I think that looks really good. So we'll see. I'll probably buy one, I'm sure, as you alluded to. Let's see. Adam says, oh, thank you, Joe, for caring. Adam says, we need to find a place on the sunny side of the river for official watch parties. The team has gone through a large amount of watch party spots, it seems like. So maybe they're just seeing what sticks and where the best turnout's going to be.
Matt and I were talking about this last night, is we really need some home bars. The biggest kind of issue behind watch parties is often you have them at like new places and they can't get the sound right. They can't get the video right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sometimes I've been to some terrible watch parties where we're watching the Wheel of Death, and we saw that once or twice last night as well. So at some point, and I'm sure some bars would be happy to do it, if they can routinely show the game with sound whenever we're playing away and just keep doing it, people will start to show after time because they'll learn and they'll know that's where I can go and watch the game.
Right.
Time.
Yeah. Something I said a long time ago too, back when we first started, I guess when the new stadium opened, we were going to 1020 a lot and stuff. And, it just baffles me that there's not a place around there, even like the Whirling Tiger. Now, I know the Whirling Tiger has a certain vibe to it. I really like it there, but why places don't have a ton of LouCity Racing Lou swag and just go all in on it? I mean, hit me up if you want to hang some tifos at your bar and you own a bar in Butchertown. I've got plenty of them, and I would love to hang them from your ceiling or whatever. So anyway,
yeah, and Joe mentioned the play-by-play announcers, the audio.
Oh yeah, it was a little delayed or something, right?
Well, it was once again terrible. So, I don't know. I don't know what we can do about that because ESPN Plus is going to usually play the homers that are calling it from wherever they're at, and that's a mixed bag. I haven't really heard two of them that have been really good in a while.
Yeah. Now, I know when you get those home announcers that are usually they're either like a substitute AAA baseball announcer or somebody that does not know that much about the beautiful game, it can be a little all over the place. But something we're hoping is not all over the place. That's a really bad segue. We hope the game on Tuesday evening is at Lynn Family Stadium. It continues to be a bad segue. Racing is ready to Racing is ready to host OL Reign as we continue this string of teams from the western part of the United States. OL Reign is fourth in the league. Just got a huge win at LA, as you alluded to earlier. This team has some major talent. possibly, I said to you off the air, this is kind of like an NWSL all-star team, great stars, and then you have Tobin Heath.
Right.
So
I expect to start? I expect to see her starting. She came off the bench at late 80s last game, and I want to say she scored. She did. So I think we might even see her start, which will be fun. We can whatever. But I'm more kind of scared of people like Roosevelt and Jessica Fishlock. That is a very dangerous combination that they have. And they've got plenty of other talent all over the place. So again, it's a challenge, but I think we're up for it. I think we can do it.
Yeah, I think this is a more winnable game at a glance than the game against the Thorns. I felt like the Thorns game was going to be an uphill battle the whole way just because they just play a certain style of soccer that I just thought maybe we were going to have trouble with, and we did have trouble with. And I think OL Reign, they're a very good possession team, great passing accuracy this season, but they've been a little vulnerable at times on defense. I think if we can just capitalize maybe on some mistakes here or there, we might be able to get a win against this team. And, the Reign, you didn't even mention, and we probably won't see her. We still haven't seen Megan Rapinoe at Lynn Family Stadium. She has not made her Lynn Family Stadium debut. I think she just came off of international play. Doubtful we'll see her for this one, but I might scream really loudly if I do see her.
Yes. I don't know if she'll travel. We'll see. She maybe has something against us here in Kentucky. Not sure.
Yeah, that's probably so. You didn't mention Bethany Balser. She did not play against Angel City. She actually leads the Reign in goals this season, has been very good on the pitch. And, all those players you mentioned, we don't mention who's the top scorer for the team. So that just tells you how deep this team is. But coming off a very short rest, traveling, they're going to Los Angeles now. They're flying all the way to Louisville. And a Tuesday night match, Ken. What is it you usually do on a Tuesday night yourself?
Oh, yeah. I usually have that's like board meeting, right? Any nonprofit board that I'm on, they have all their meetings on Tuesday nights. Coopers used to do the same thing too, so it just becomes a clutter. But yep, I got to miss another board meeting. That's what I usually do on Tuesdays. We have had some famous Tuesday night games, though. We've had a rain game many years ago, right, where LMPD politely asked me to leave. Yeah.
I'm assuming this was at Slugger.
Yes, it was.
Why did they ask you to leave?
Oh, I scored a goal.
Oh, God. Did you belly flop?
No, but I did get a cheer from the crowd. It was like a rain delay. We were putting away all our crap, and then somebody might have passed a ball to me and Tom Farmer, and we went running down the field during the rain delay, passing it back and forth. And then I kicked it. I was wearing a kilt and combat boots at the time, just context. And I kicked the ball into the net, heard a large roar, and I was jumping back up into the stands, and the biggest LMPD cop I think I've ever seen said, "You, come here. Need to talk to you."
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, on behalf of Pitch Invader haters everywhere, here's a red card for you. I needed some reason to push that button. Yeah, sorry about your luck. I don't remember that. I do remember several times people were running on the field, but, I don't really remember. Yeah, you better be doing those workouts. I don't really remember that one happening necessarily, but a Tuesday night is a very interesting night for a match. I'm looking forward to it myself. I usually do stay home and watch Matlock on Tuesday nights on WGN, but I guess I will try to put in a tape in the VCR and record it this week. Okay. We've gone way off the rails. Thanks for being with us this evening. And on the chat, we've got a couple more topics. And please chime in as much as you want, because that just makes it all the more fun. We appreciate you guys being here very, very much. Okay, well, I guess we should move on to next Saturday at Lynn Family Stadium. We're going to have back-to-back weekend games, Ken. I'm very excited about this next matchup because we're playing a team that we should be able to handle, I hope. Next Saturday, Charleston Battery come to town, and the Battery have not looked great. They are especially bad on the road, where they have not had a win in 17 consecutive matches. This game with Charleston, Ken, looks like an opportunity to have a big win, but we also thought the same thing against Phoenix Rising. And, Charleston's a team that we had a draw with earlier in the season. What do you think of this matchup with the Battery?
We never underestimate them. We have more than twice their points on the table. They have some players that can play. Augustine Williams he's coming up on 50 goals in his USL career, so he can play, he can score. They have very leaky defense. But when people come to Louisville, especially a team like Charleston that we've dumped out of the playoffs year after year after year, they've got something to prove. So it will probably be a hard-fought game. There will probably be a bunch of yellow cards, and I do expect us to come out. I'm sure the odds win makers expect us to come out on top too.
Yeah, Augustine Williams has had a pretty solid year, scoring 11 goals. This Sierra Leone native, very dominant performances this season, and Charleston's had some decent wins out there. I mean, they beat Pittsburgh 3-0, and then went out to Colorado Springs and had a draw with the Switchbacks, which was a very impressive feat on the road. So definitely not a team to sleep on. Now, I will say they just gave up 4 goals on Saturday to Sacramento Republic, and that is the same Sacramento Republic that just came out of that U.S. Open Cup. So after traveling from Sacramento to Charleston, they still scored 4. They have not had a clean sheet, Charleston that is, in 9 straight matches. Just a team that has all the fixings for a thrashing, but we never want to underestimate our opponents. And I don't think Danny allows that. I've said that before. He does not allow the players to overlook opponents. I think that Tampa, obviously that game is circled on the calendar for all of us. It's a blackout, and I'm going to wear a black shirt for the first time in the history of my Louisville City fandom. But we have to pay attention to the Battery this Saturday.
Yeah, I do expect us to win, but I expect us to play our style, and we just can't let people like Augustine Williams get behind us. And I think we'll be just fine. I mean, we handle them like we handled Francois in the last game. I think we dominate possession like we like to do, and we make sure that they don't have any sustained amount of possession by taking it back, especially on a high line. Mm-hmm. That's what we want.
Yeah, they are going to be putting up a lot of crosses. They tend to cross the ball a lot, go for long balls, and they're going to try to get cut through our defense through those means. But I know we're going to have this game well scouted. We take one game at a time. Charleston's not a very disciplined team. They lead the league in yellow cards this season. They are very all over the place, and they had a decent start to the year, but they have since then fallen to 13th with 13 points, coincidentally. Only New York trails Charleston in the Eastern standings. So it does look like it's going to be a pretty favorable matchup for Louisville City, but we'll see as we look ahead to the big game against Tampa Bay, but we can't sell Charleston short. I just mentioned Sacramento Republic. Joe in the chat mentioned we should say something nice. How about Sac Republic beating Sporting Kansas City, making it to the finals, and they're going to play another MLS squad with Orlando City. Pretty exciting, right?
They're going to play that, 3 or 4 days after they come here and play us on Labor Day or Labor Day weekend. So they're not going to move that game. Has anybody heard anything if they're going to move that game? Because I know a lot of my friends from Michigan want to come back to a game, and that's the one they've circled on the calendar to come to. So,
and I haven't heard anything contrary or anything that it's not going to be the same time, but that would be interesting to see. I mean, they haven't done that all season. I don't know why they would start now. It's been inconvenient for teams, Open Cup wise, to have to do that, but that's just part of it. I didn't realize that they, went to Charleston on Saturday. I was looking up notes for the show, and I was like, "Holy cow! You want to talk about a travel schedule? That's a pretty rough one."
Yeah, I think Joe asked about Cam still recovering from that hamstring groin. I think it's either a groin or a hamstring or both injury. Probably don't expect to see him. Maybe he'll make the bench, but it's his career. Unfortunately, he's had a lot of injuries.
So Rebecca is taking up for you right now, Ken, and she asked, "Why do you still have a yellow card?" And then I got a yellow card.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Katie is in control of my yellows and reds today. But we had a discussion after last time that she was in charge of my yellows and reds. And I told her, "Honey, no reds today. I love you." And she said something I cannot repeat on the air. But thanks for the yellow. Her and Rebecca are buddies. I guess she was on Rebecca's side on that one. Hi, Matt Owens. How you doing, good sir? He knows what he did. That's funny. You guys are hilarious. All right. Okay. We're going to move on. Final topic of the day. A terrifying scene at Lynn Family Stadium Friday evening as there was not one, but two Gorps. This reporter did some digging through Twitter and saw people posting pictures of a giant Gorp-like creature at the Fam. Ken, I want to first talk a little bit about Gorp. We first saw Gorp quite a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that guy.
Where did you get that?
What are you talking about?
My hair is so much better. Oh.
I beg to differ. This was at the Women's Cup.
That was Women's Cup last year, yeah. At the Muhammad Ali Center.
I did my best to crop out the puppeteers, caught a little bit of them. First off, I am a ventriloquist fanatic. Okay, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a ventriloquist, so I have all the respect in the world for them. But okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to screw you up there on that one. So Gorp,
yeah, Gorp grew this game. Evidently, eating his or her, I don't know what Gorp is, eating their Wheaties. So Gorp was significantly bigger, and I was supposed to get a prize because I did my summer reading, but they didn't give me a prize, which I was very upset about. But I got over it. What
did you read?
Books. You do your summer reading, and you there's the big Gorp right there.
That is now. See that Gorp's face. Now let me rewind a little bit. Okay, look at this Gorp. Excited, happy, being silly. Right now, look at this Gorp. Oh yeah. My God!
A little scary.
Those eyes.
Yeah. Then I saw Gorp shrunk later on. I said, "Costume get hot?" They said, "Yep."
Folks, you are not going to get this kind of coverage on any Louisville City or Racing Lou media platform. Just like to throw that out. Yeah, everybody was having fun with this giant Gorp. Captured this from Twitter. Baldwin saying, "As Gorp's influence grows, so does Gorp. Praise be to Gorp." Oh dear. Everybody has a little fun with Gorp. And look, I really like Gorp. I think he's very cute. He was actually in the I don't know if you recall, but we had a little video for our St. Louis game in the Open Cup, and he was in the back of the lowrider with me and Matt and Glenn on the video. It's incredible technology. Strive to be in that lowrider, Ken. Strive to be in that lowrider.
I will. My goal. It's my only goal these days, to be in a lowrider.
I thought that this Gorp situation, he hasn't shown it. This is his first game this year to be Gorpzilla, says Rebecca. Adam says, "Oh dear God, that is just disturbing." Giant Gorp, you will read. Matt says, "Giant Gorp says you will read." That's great. So I thought we could use Gorp as a little platform. We've talked a lot about mascots in the USL, especially for Louisville City. I thought we could just have a little fun discussion about it. At one point, we had heard rumors that there might have been a mascot coming at some point. I actually pitched to Brad Estes at one point, Sammy the Skyscraper. So I had this idea that it was the Mercer building, and then my head would be the dome. And, you know, you just stick your arms out and you're walking around like the Mercer building. No?
You want something shaped like a penis to be our mascot.
Yes.
Oh, great.
No, I mean, I was just, well, that was when the old crest was around. I thought that would have been cool. Sammy the Skyscraper, folks. No?
Well, it doesn't have to make, mascots don't have to make a lot of sense. You know,
Right.
Stuttgart has an alligator as their mascot. Not a lot of alligators in southern Germany.
No.
So mascots aren't for us. I know it's hard to believe that they're actually for the little ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, Ken, that is very mature and adult-like of you to say, because a lot of people get very passionate about the mascot thing. You know, they just completely lose their senses. I don't really care. I'm the same. Look, all right. You know, as long as you're enjoying yourself, having a good time, and coming to games and supporting the teams, I'm all for it. These teams are still, you know, especially racing, very young teams. It's not a sure thing that it's going to always be a successful product, I guess you could say, for the city of Louisville. They're going to continue, in other words, they're going to continue to do things to make the team marketable, to get more people to buy tickets. Okay. So outside of blocking the sun. So, you know, there's going to be rumors and talks of this. I think it's fun. Okay. Life's too short to worry about things like mascots.
Oh, I'm surprised we don't have one already. I find it kind of odd that we don't have one already. We should have had a mascot a while ago just to do mascot things with the kids. Maybe we could have a couple of different mascots. We could have one for the adults and one for the kids. How about that?
Any ideas for the adult one?
Somebody said purple nipples, right? Oh, no, that's Nurple. Never mind.
I've already given you a red, and since it's just me and you, I'm not going to give you another one. Yeah, no, I mean, they've got that area at the front of the stadium that they've been kind of putting the fence around temporarily, and they have like slides and stuff out there. They had a ton of it for the USL showcase game, especially for the business people's families. But no, you know, I'm all for getting people in the stadium and letting them see what this is all about. Hey, I got a real quick story that just happened. I was playing poker the other day. Okay. I was wearing Louisville City stuff, which I generally do when I play poker. And a guy sat down at the table and said, he said something like, are you involved with the team? And I said, well, I'm a season ticket holder. And he said, well, I went to one of those games. He's like, adrenaline rush. That's all he said. I was like, heck yeah. You know, so I mean, like, everybody that goes, they have a great time, and I think it's all about getting people there. But Gorp is a little different. You know, he's part of the library. We want kids to read. You know, we want kids to get a good education. There was a lot of other things going on Friday evening. Tuesday evening, Ken, is bring your pups to the pitch.
My cat won't eat that.
We've had this promotion before. Thoughts on pups at the pitch? How many of you out there would like to bring your puppy to the pitch?
I think it was a resounding success the last time I did this. And, you know, I thought it was just going to be pure chaos. But I think it was handled pretty well, as I recall. No incidents or landmines being left around or anything like that. So, I don't know. If it works, People like to do it. It's a Tuesday, so they got to do something, dizzy bat contests or some T-shirt cannons or something to get the people coming through the gates. So, pups at the pitch. That's what they're doing.
Yep. Last time they actually kept the attendance of the dogs, which I loved. They actually had it on the official attendance there. That was pretty cool. Matt says he will be the mascot, but it will just be a fat guy in a dirty shirt holding an overpriced beer named Lou. That's good. That is good. Yeah. No, it did work really well last time. And a lot of other sports do, well, I guess just baseball really, bring your puppy to the pitch type events and all that. And again, it does get people into the stadium, but it is kind of, a lot of people are more, they want you to really come there for the sport because it is a great sport and they want you to pay attention to the sport. Having a dog there can be a little distracting to say the least, especially around other dogs, but I don't know. Have fun, right?
Yeah. I the way I watch soccer live, and you've seen this firsthand, there's no way a dog could be around me because I'm usually trying to, rip something up or scream or yell or whatever I do. Who knows? Yeah. Not a conducive environment for pets. Now,
last time they did keep the dogs, if I recall, they kept the dogs down at the waterfront end, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the only place you could probably do that because you have the space out there.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm going to just take our yellow cards away because I'm in such a good mood. Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
What was my moniker this time? I missed it.
I think that one was for, on the lower third. Yeah. It says, wrong button.
Hey.
It says Zombies by the Bridge.
Yeah. That where they're working on that down at the end of Baxter where they've closed off the road and they're working on that railroad bridge or underneath it or something like that.
Yes.
It is totally turned into a zombie wasteland. We were walking through there and there's like a saw blade sitting on the ground. Oh God, somebody's gonna cut my head off walking through here.
Yeah. Scary. Might be a good place to be. You can construct a weapon like on Dying Light and just like throw it all together.
Right. That'll work.
Yeah. What does mine say? Oh, a tractor moved me. It's a reference to SummerSlam last night. Brock Lesnar actually used a tractor and lifted the ring up to throw a wrestler out of it. It was great. I'm sure you care about that, don't you? Okay, well, a lot going on this week. A Tuesday night match. Let's get out to the fam and support racing. Great turnout Friday night. If I'm not mistaken, that might have been our largest attendance of the year, over 7,000. So I know the team, and I'm talking about the team, Lavender Ladies, they appreciate that, and they appreciate the support. Always a great turnout. Hats off to Brandon and Lavender Legion and all the folks that make the banners for racing. They have a ton of banners. They look awesome. So they did a great job with that, and the support's been really good. Let's keep supporting them. And through the thick and thin, that's what supporting's all about. It's not all about winning, and sometimes you're not going to get that win, but we're going to support racing every step of the way. And, of course, next Saturday, Louisville hosting Charleston. Looking forward to that as well. Have not checked the weather forecast, Ken. I know you had some trouble with your Doppler radar there in the Highlands, so we're unable to get that weather report today. But
I looked at it briefly. I was a little off on my sun report last time. I said it was going to go not be a problem after about 8:24. I was about 10 minutes off. So we're losing about 2 or 3 minutes per game of sun. So I'm thinking right around 8:30 if it's clear. If it's not clear, I think we'll be fine. And it doesn't look like it's going to be oppressively hot as it was. So it should be a nice night.
Yep. I hope so. We've had some rough ones, but at least the rain's trying kind of knocking the humidity down just a bit for us. So hopefully the week will turn out to be nice. But regardless, we'll see you at Lynn Family Stadium, hopefully to support our clubs. We appreciate everybody that was in the chat this evening. It really means a lot to us and helps the show flow better. We love talking to you guys. It's kind of part of the show. We want y'all to be on here too. So don't forget that we do have a podcast audio only form. If you just cannot stand looking at our faces every Wednesday or that beautiful shirt that Ken's wearing, every Wednesday we drop an audio form of the program on all your favorite podcast locations, including Spotify and somewhere else that I cannot remember. Also, don't forget, we appreciate you hitting the like button, and I hate saying that because it's so corny, but it really does get us seen. Subscribe to this channel. There's all sorts of fun stuff, extra hot minutes, and all sorts of good stuff on the YouTube channel. And we thank you guys for all the support and love, and we love you right back. And we hope you join us next week. Thanks for all the support. And Katie is posting 3 little devils. I don't know why. I just said I loved everybody, and she's putting devils. That's why I didn't probably get it. For whatever. For Ken Luther, I'm John Harper. We'll see you next time on 24-Hour Purple People. Goodbye, everybody. We love.
Peace.